with every bite up. And even though it's crunchy on the outside, inside it's soft like a cloud. It's the perfect pan pizza. Italian Flavia Diamante reveals her secret recipe for an incredible homemade pizza. Roman-style pizza. Let's start with the dough for 2 trays of pizza. Here we have 40 by 30 cm trays. Italian Caputo Nuvola flour is simply unbeatable in terms of structure and proofing. We weigh the rest of the ingredients: salt, dry yeast. We always prefer it to the fresh yeast because it is more reliable. And reproducibility is fundamental, right? For the same reason, we use a precision scale. A scale like this costs around $10. It's worth it. Let's mix the yeast into the flour. And move on to the water for the dough. We want a 70% hydration, so for us that's exactly half a liter. Now let's start kneading. By hand, with a stand mixer, whatever. The important thing is the final result, as you will see. Don't believe the myths that kneading dough by hand is superior. Use a stand mixer if you want. Let's start with the paddle, incorporating all of the flour. Caputo Nuvola flour is a zero-type flour with a W of 260 to 280, perfect for leavening up to 8 to 10 hours. And above all, it's a flour that allows us to achieve that characteristic lightness that we want in our pizza, a cloud-like texture inside. And when a ball has formed, we switch to the dough hook to knead. A speed of 2 or 3 at most for 15 minutes. And here is the result. Perfect dough. We test the strength of the gluten mesh by opening the dough, an operation that also lends structure to the dough itself. This is a very thin sheet. What do you think? It is essential to reach this level here to obtain our classic crunch and poof pizza texture. Now let's close the dough. We give it 2 folds. And let it rest for 10 minutes. The dough has relaxed, so let's fold it again. And now we let the dough rise until it is doubled in size. For us, 2 hours at 25 degrees Celsius in our proofing box. You can also use the oven at this temperature as a proofing box. Now we divide the dough into 2 pieces. For 2 baking trays, we need 2 loaves of approximately 600 grams each. We have exactly 600 grams each. Perfect! Let's close the loaves . and let them rise for 3 hours at 25 degrees Celsius in the proofer. In the meantime, let's prepare the ingredients that will go on our pizzas. We are making 2 pizza margheritas. We prefer a sweet tomato puree or peeled tomatoes for this type of pizza. Salt, oil, and that's it. We put this in the fridge and then we chop the mozzarella. Here we have Italian fior di latte mozzarella. 2 per pizza will be fine. Let the mozzarella drain so that it doesn't release too much liquid during baking. It's time to spread the pizzas. We have 30 by 40 cm blue iron trays. We oil them lightly and spread the pizzas exclusively with oil. In other videos, we showed you how to roll out pizzas with flour, but here we want an even crispier crust. Using oil for spreading will guarantee a unique browning and crunchiness on the base of the pizza. And the oil is also good for the skin, right, Flavia? The dough spreads very well. As you can see, the dough is still slightly springy because it will have to finish its leavening in the pan. This last proof is very important to guarantee the final result of a crispy crust and a soft texture inside. Notice how it already has the size of the pan, so the transfer is perfect. We always take the dough from the corners and we roll. Let's do the second one. They are ready. We could also press with our fingertips like we would do with a focaccia. We do it this way because we like an uneven base, not a completely flat pizza underneath. And now we cover the pizzas and let them rise for another hour before going into the oven. The pizzas are ready. One last adjustment. Season with the sauce and put it in the oven. We bake on a pizza stone placed on the floor of the oven. If you don't have a pizza stone, place the pan in the lower third of the oven. Bake at a high 300 degrees Celsius static for 10 minutes or 250 degrees Celsius for 15. Here is our beautiful piping hot pizza. Now we add the mozzarella and go back in the oven. this time on the fan setting at the same temperature for 3 minutes, or for the time it takes the mozzarella to melt. It's done! Bellissima! Super crunchy! We cut it! Yes, many Italians use scissors to cut. The second pizza arrives. We finish it with fresh basil. And here we are, 2 fantastic homemade pan pizzas, very crunchy crusts, but soft and very light inside. Flavia has created the impossible pizza for you, every homemade pizza lover's dream. That golden combination between crunchy and soft. And look at that honeycomb structure. And don't forget to give Flavia a like and subscribe to the Piatto Recipes channel, where we share classic recipes from Italy and beyond.